Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining today's information and Q&A session for our upcoming data engineering programme that's due to begin on the 9th of June this year. So we are now live on YouTube, but this session is also being recorded and will be available to rewatch, pause, recap any sections that you would like at your leisure, and anyone who is unable to attend today's session can watch at a later date as well. So there is a chat function on YouTube, so please, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to pop them in there, but just a reminder to please be respectful and kind of everyone else who is following along today and any questions that are put in the chat function. But I think a really good place to start is by introducing myself. So my name is Grace. I'm one of our admissions operations managers here at Generation. I'm responsible for the admissions process for our upcoming data engineering programme. Someone that you will also work with really closely during the application process is Amelia, who is one of our operations associates, so either be myself or Amelia that you speak with during your application process. So like I mentioned, the programme is due to begin on the 9th of June this year, and so we'll be covering quite a few things in today's session. So we'll start off with an introduction into Generation, who we are, what we set out to do, insight into data engineering as a career and industry, insight into the data engineering programme and what you'll be learning during the 12 weeks, what mentoring support we offer during those 12 weeks, and also an insight into the admissions process. So what are the next steps and how do you be successful in your application? But I think a really good place to start is by introducing Generation as well, and exactly what we set out to do. So Generation UK and Ireland are a charity. We first launched in the UK in 2017, but we actually started in the US back in 2015. And Generation was created after identifying a really clear gap in the job market. On one side, you've got employers, especially in high demand sectors like tech, healthcare, or the green economy, who are actively hiring but really struggling to find people with the right skills. And then on the other side, there are lots of people who are unemployed, underemployed, and eager to work, but don't have the right technical skills needed for those jobs, or don't have access to the right training or career pathways to access them. So Generation was created to bridge that gap, so connecting motivated job seekers with the skills that employers actually need. And we do this by offering free training programs that are specifically designed to give people those in-demand skills and help them launch life-changing careers that may otherwise be out of reach. And our programs are in an intensive style, so they're typically Monday till Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. And they're built in partnership with employers to make sure what we're teaching is exactly what is needed for the job. And as part of the program, learners get practical training, hands-on experience, and a wraparound support. And we also connect our learners directly with employers and help them through the application and the interview process. And now globally, Generation runs in over 17 countries and 300 cities and counting. And across all of these, we've helped more than 110,000 people into work. So we've had over 110,000 people graduate from our programs and move into life-changing careers. And currently we partner with more than 3,000 employers worldwide. And we also regularly check in with employers about how our graduates are performing. And so far, 84% of our employers have said that Generation graduates typically outperform their peers who come through more traditional routes such as university or previous experience, which shows that our approach really works. And this is a bit of an insight as to where some of our Generation graduates have worked or are currently working. And you can see here there are a lot of household names from Gymshark to PlayStation, Just Eat, Depop, Sainsbury's, etc. And I think a really important takeaway from this is roles in data and data engineering are not just limited to traditional data companies. Big companies like cancer research, the government, all handle large amounts of data and therefore have a need for data engineers. So there's tons of opportunity out there, and hopefully we can connect you with those opportunities. So I've got a quick question for everyone on the call. So we've got three options here. So how much data does everyone think will be created in 2025? If you can pop either an A or a B or a C in the chat, but A is 152 petabytes, which is 15 zeros. B is 35 exabytes, which is 18 zeros. Or C, 181 zettabytes, which is 21 zeros. So what does everyone think? A, B, or C? How much do you think will be created in 2025? Feel free to pop your answers in the chat. Does anyone know? No worries if not. Oh, we've got a C come through. Quite a few C's. Seems like everyone's got the same kind of idea, but you are completely correct. So the answer is C, 181 zettabytes, which is 21 zeros. And so by 2025, the global volume of data is projected to rise to 181 zettabytes by the end of 2025. And this growth is largely driven by the increase in use of AI-driven content, social media, devices connected to the internet, cloud-based storage, and to put it in perspective, as 1 zettabyte equals 1 sextillion bytes, or the equivalent of storing 213 billion DVDs. So 181 zettabytes is 38.5 trillion DVDs, which is just mind blown. I can even imagine what kind of DVD collection that would look like. But raw data isn't useful on its own, and it needs to be collected, cleaned, organized, and understood. So that is largely why data roles are so in demand right now. And so where exactly does a data engineer sit in a data team? I think it's really good to break down further what 3 key roles are in the data journey and exactly who does what at what stage. So we start off with the data scientist, which we like to think of as the forecaster. Data scientists use things like statistics, machine learning, predictive modeling to understand really complex patterns in data. They focus on what might happen next, so helping organizations make long-term plans. So for example, they may predict customer behavior, build recommendation engines, or detect fraud. They usually work with large data sets and sophisticated tools, and they rely on clean, structured data, which then brings us on to the role of a data engineer. You can think of the data engineer a bit like the builder. So they're responsible for building systems that collect, move, and organize data. They largely work behind the scenes to make sure data from lots of different sources flow into one place and make sure that it is clean, reliable, ready to use. A good analogy is to think of them as the plumbers of the data world. So without them, there's no water or data flowing to the right places. They work closely with both the data scientists and analysts, making sure that those teams have high quality data that they can trust. And then that moves us on to the data analysts. So you can think of them almost as the storyteller. They take that clean, structured data and use it to answer questions and spot trends. They're all about turning numbers into stories that people can understand. So analysts, they may build dashboards, create reports, or present insights that help a business make day-to-day decisions, like what's working, what's not working, and how can we improve. It's a role that combines those technical skills with communication and creativity as well. And so with so much data being created, 181 zettabytes, organizations need people who can make sense of that much data. And every industry from healthcare to finance to entertainment is hiring data professionals. And whilst AI can help with a lot of the heavy lifting, people are still needed to guide it, ask the right questions, and interpret the results in real world terms. And so the data engineering sector is vast, and there's tons of progression as a data engineer. So your career can really grow. When you first start out, you'll likely be in a junior data engineering role. And so we're seeing starting salaries of around £29,000 a year, with this being higher in London at about £32,000 a year. And at this stage in your career, you will focus on more routine tasks like maintaining systems, cleaning data, and handling simpler data requests. But this is a really good time for you to get to know those systems inside and out. And as you gain experience, you'll move into a data engineer role. And this is where things get more technical and strategic. You'll start to lead on some of those deep thinking tasks like designing, building the data systems themselves. So it requires really strong technical skills, but also smart and clear thinking. You're creating the pipelines and the architecture that hold everything together. And with time, you can then progress into a senior data engineer. And at this level, you may want to choose to specialize in a specific area, like cloud infrastructure, real-time data, or security. Or you may choose to move into a more management position, so leading a team of engineers and shaping the direction of your department. But the real great thing is starting as a data engineer doesn't mean that you have to stay in that lane forever. You may decide to pivot into data science, where you'll work with machine learning and AI, using data to predict future trends. Or you could move into a data analyst role, helping your company understand what the data is telling them, supporting decision making within the company. Or some people like to move towards the business side of tech, so you could become a product owner, leading the development of software tools, or a business analyst, looking at how your company operates and making recommendations to improve efficiency. But whatever route you choose, opportunities are really exciting, and the earning potential grows really quickly too. So we're seeing, according to Glassdoor, a senior level data engineer can expect to learn upwards around £65,000 or on average within the UK. So whether you stay on the engineering path or branch into data science or shift towards business strategy or management, starting as a data engineer gives you a really strong foundation to build a successful career in tech. So you may be thinking, all of this sounds fantastic. The earning opportunity is crazy, but is data engineering right for me? And so if any of these points here sound like you, the answer may be yes. So we're seeing really key qualities in people who apply for data engineering roles, and particularly our program. Are you excited about the power of data and how it can really help solve real life problems and not just crunch numbers? You may enjoy a varied and interesting workload, and in data engineering, no 2 days are the same at all. One day you may be fixing an issue, and then the next you may be designing a brand new system. You may be a problem solver at heart, so maybe you're always thinking about a plan B or coming up with clever workarounds. That kind of mindset is really valuable within this field. You may also have a really close eye for detail, so you like getting things right and making sure that everything works the way it should. And you may be comfortable working on your own, but also enjoy collaborating with the team. Data projects are really very rarely solo missions. They thrive on teamwork, and as we've seen, normally a data team is made up of lots of different roles outside of just an engineer, also analysts, scientists, etc. So they really thrive on teamwork. You may also like the idea of growing with others, so learning together, sharing knowledge. In tech, absolutely no one knows everything, so being open and curious is a really big strength. And you may also know tech is where you want to be, but you're not quite sure exactly where to start. Data engineering is a really great entry point. It gives you transferable skills that you can take with you in lots of directions later once you've found your passion. So moving on to data engineering with Generation. So our data engineering program is due to begin on the 9th of June this year, and it runs for 12 weeks in total. During those 12 weeks, it is from Monday till Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. And as we are a charity, it is completely free of cost to everyone who enrolls onto one of our programs. With that, we do have some eligibility criteria that you will need to satisfy in order to be considered for a place on the program, but we'll run through that in a little bit more detail shortly. But you may think, what is in it for me? What are the benefits to me for completing a Generation Bootcamp? And like I mentioned, it is completely free. So the full 12 weeks of training is free. At no point will you ever have to pay anything towards one of our programs. All of our learning is done online, so you get to learn from the comfort of your own space, but you get to spend tons of time with our live instructors. You get the opportunity to ask questions and request additional support wherever you may need. We have really dedicated one-to-one mentoring, which we'll go into in a lot more detail in the later slides, but we have dedicated mentors who are there to help with your soft skills, and whilst the instructor is there to teach you the more technical knowledge that you will need to move into a data engineering role, our mentors are there to help you with employability support and pastoral support to give you the best chance of completing the programme and also being set up for success beyond the programme itself. We will also connect you with employers, so in your area, and jobs and opportunities that are relevant to you, which we'll go into in a bit more detail later on. If you do not have a laptop or your internet access isn't great, we can give this to you, lend this to you free of charge. So if you need a laptop, we can lend you a laptop. If you need a webcam, we can lend you a webcam, also a Wi-Fi dongle as well. And this is all part of our offer form. So once you receive through your offer, you can request this and we'll send it to you for use during the programme. And then you'll be able to return it to us free of charge at the end. You can also continue to receive your benefits whilst on the programme if that is something you are receiving. If you're not already receiving and you would like some guidance on how to, our mentors can support you and guide you on how to do this. So I mentioned a bit around eligibility for enrolling onto the programme, and a lot of information around this is on our website, also the application page, but I'll take you through the key parts that you will need to satisfy in order to be considered for a place on the programme. So you'll need to be over the age of 19, a resident in the UK or EEA for the last 3 years. You also need to not be in current education, training or work. If you are working a 0 hours contract or a part-time contract up to about 16 hours a week, that is absolutely fine, just as long as it is within the evenings or on the weekends, so not during that Monday till Friday 9 AM till 5 PM. You'll also need to have the legal right to work and live within the UK, and also a current resident in either Manchester or London for this programme. You also need to be available for the full 12 weeks of the programme and potentially ready to start a new full-time job or career upon completion as well. So this is a little bit of an overview of what life in a generation classroom looked like. So it's a real mix of the technical delivery, but then also the kind of pastoral, soft skills and employability support as well. So as I mentioned, it is completely online, Monday till Friday, 9 AM till 5 PM. And we have a live instructor who it gives you all of the kind of course content over those 12 weeks. A lot of our teaching style is very interactive. You know, you're not just in a classroom being fed information, you're on a live call, you know, you're joined by about 20 to 25 other learners on the call, and so a lot of it is interactive from time to time. You may do group tasks or role plays to really get you set up for that end role. And it is a real mix of group sessions, but also self-study, and there's 2 presentations to complete as part of the programme, which I will go into in a little bit more detail in the later slides. And like I mentioned, if you need a laptop or internet access, we can provide this to you. And so a lot of our focus as well is around employability support to really get you set up for that end role, and the application process that will help you land that role. So we have dedicated employability sessions where we will guide you on CV writing and editing, personal bios, interview support. We run a lot of mock interviews as well. We will connect you up with hiring employers and also help you with that transition support into employment as well. So this is a bit of an overview of what a typical day in the classroom could look like. It is by no means the case for every single day, but just a bit of an idea. So it's a real mix of that collaborative and individual study as well. So our classes start at 9 o'clock, where we'll have our daily opening. Normally we will request to log in a little bit earlier to let us know that potentially if you will not be absent, if you'll be absent that day, or potentially if you're feeling unwell. So yeah, there's a lot of focus for us around log in absence and sickness before the class starts each morning. We will teach you like professionals and expect you to treat this as a job as well, as it is training for a job. So at 9 o'clock we begin with a daily opening, and this is really important to kind of set the expectations of the day, and also really important to build that community as well at the beginning of the day and also the programme. Like I say, you will be on a live call each day for 12 weeks with your peers, so it's really important to build that kind of community and make a really safe and kind of welcoming interactive space with everyone. From 9:15, you'll likely begin your new technical topic, which involves a presentation from your instructor. We have tons of breaks during the day, so you normally have a break kind of in the morning, you'll have your lunch, and then sometimes an afternoon break as well. From about 11 o'clock, you can expect to move into your technical skills application session. So this will likely be in a breakout room before moving on to lunch, which you get an hour for lunch. The afternoon sessions may involve focus around behavioural skills and mindsets, which we'll go into in a little bit more detail later on. And then you could look, the rest of your afternoon could involve an employability session, so focus around CVs, interviews, job applications, before moving into daily reflections at the end of the day, and then closing on any kind of one-to-one support you may need from your instructor or mentor before closing for the day at 5 o'clock. So like I say, this is kind of an example day. It's by no means that every single day will look like this, but hopefully gives you a bit of an idea as to what that could look like. So here is a bit of information around our curriculum. So on all of our programs, our curriculum is split into three important parts. So you have your technical skills, which are key to the data engineering role. We also have a focus around behaviours and mindsets as well. So in technical skills, you'll be learning tons during the 12 weeks of the programme. There's a lot of focus around database fundamentals, programming languages such as Python or SQL, Agile and Scrum methodologies, Git version control, Docker containers, databases, data warehouses, warehousing, AWS cloud computing, and much, much more. So we'll go into this in a bit more detail in the next few slides also. But we have a real focus around behaviours and mindsets as well to really prepare you for entry into work. So behaviours could look like communication skills, kind of proactiveness, time management, teamwork, all of which are really important to move into a role within data engineering. And then we have a real focus as well around growth mindset. So believing that you can learn and improve with time, over time with practice, kind of persistence, making sure that you don't give up in the face of challenges, personal responsibility, future orientation. And this is a lot around our kind of soft skills that our mentors will support you with. And whilst the more technical skills will be what your technical instructor will teach you during the day. So this is a bit of an overview of the bootcamp and what is involved and what is teaching, what is taught during those 12 weeks. So some really exciting things that you'll learn across the bootcamp and getting you ready for a role within data engineering. So you can see the first few weeks. So the first week normally is focused around kind of goal setting, behaviours, mindsets, and success for the end role. How these foundations will help you set up for success on the course, understanding how the industry works with data, and understanding the roles and responsibilities of a data engineer and the challenges you may face on that journey to become a data engineer, but also how to overcome these. So we feel it's really important to cover those soft skills and qualities that a great data engineer needs before then moving into the technical training. So you'll have a kind of sessions on Python, which I can imagine a lot of people are already quite familiar with, but also you become familiar with terms like data types, operators, data structures, control flow functions, scripting. You'll learn about the difference between information and data, learn about testing, where you'll use this in your work and why it's important to data engineers, and also the foundation of all data storage for querying which databases. You'll learn about writing scripts using Python to integrate the database for the data or information you are looking for, introductions to SQL, NoSQL databases. We'll talk about data visualization, so creating interactive ways to show huge amounts of data to people who can then see it themselves, so not just as a database. During the first few weeks of the course, then you'll work on individual mini projects to apply the technical skills that you're learning. This will never be shared with employers. It's just a relaxed and safe place for you to learn and apply those skills. And then in the second part of the course, you will do a group projects in teams to build on the learnings and apply to a different angle. And this will be trained using agile methodologies as a form of project management. And then the last few weeks of the programme will go into more kind of technical teaching. So with all this data, you'll learn how to store it. You'll be introduced to cloud technologies, platforms offered by AWS, Azure, Google, and the pros and cons of cloud storage, cleaning data, building data pipelines, extract, transform, and load, and storing data as well. So tons of stuff there, and it's always evolving as well. So if there's anything else that you would like to learn during the program, or there's something you would like to learn more of, that's a real benefit of having that live instructor, that you have that opportunity to ask those questions and delve into things a little bit deeper. But this is by no means kind of exclusive of everything that you learn, but further information on this can be made available if you would like. But yeah, I hope this kind of gives you an insight that it's a super exciting bootcamp and one that will really equip you very well for the end role. And so I can imagine you've heard me talk quite a lot about mentors and mentorship, so you may wonder exactly what mentoring looks like at Generation and on one of our Generation bootcamps. So at the beginning of the program, you'll be assigned obviously your live instructor for the program, but also a mentor as well. And our mentors are specialised in adult learning experiences. So they come with tons of experience from various sectors, including education, charities, training support, and they're equipped with the right knowledge on how to best support you. So our mentors are there to help you with those soft skills, whilst the instructors are there to teach you more of those technical skills. So those soft skills look like motivation, goal setting, future orientation, persistence, and a big emphasis on growth mindset. So how to approach challenges, setbacks, and see this as an opportunity for personal growth. And they are there to give you the best chance of completing the programme, so those full 12 weeks, and also set you up for success beyond. Our mentors also support with employability skills, so interview skills, mock interviews, helping you with your CV and readiness for employment. They also offer you pastoral care and wellbeing support, which is completely tailored and individualised to your needs and situation to make sure that you feel supported on the course. So our mentors, we have 3 different phases where our mentors are involved. So you can see it's before you even begin the programme, during the bootcamp, and afterwards. So before you even begin, as part of our application process, you will have a one-to-one call with one of our mentors. This normally involves a 30 minutes Teams call, and normally a video call with one of our mentors, and it's a really good chance for you to connect with them. They can hear a little bit more about your current situation, your current circumstance, and what support you might need during those 12 weeks of the programme. And it's really important for us to understand it at the beginning of the programme, before you even begin, to make sure that you can get that from day one. You'll meet with one of our mentors again during the onboarding or orientation week, and start to discuss goals for the next 12 weeks. And then during the programme, you'll continue to have one-to-one sessions, set personalised goals, and coaching specific to the role that you want, and also support your readiness in moving into that role. And then afterwards as well, our mentors are there to help you get ready for interviews, support with your job search, and continue to build confidence as well. So we fully understand that a bootcamp may feel really overwhelming. I mean, it's 12 weeks of going into the unknown, meeting new people, learning new content, and preparing for a brand new career, all whilst you're still juggling your home life and your responsibilities. So our mentors are really there to support you, to prepare you for this during the programme and beyond. So we do get some common questions around the support that we offer during our programmes. And so a common question that we do get is, what if I'm ill? What if I have to take a day off during the programme? And this is something that you will discuss with your mentor directly and your instructor, and to create a plan to make sure that you're able to catch up and you don't miss out on anything during that day or couple of days that you need to take off. What financial support is available? So you can continue to receive any benefits that you're on currently during the programme, and our mentors can also support and guide you to apply for benefits if you're not already applying. If you do not have a laptop or Wi-Fi, we can lend you a laptop, Wi-Fi, camera, etc. during the programme free of charge. And so what happens if I don't receive a place on the bootcamp? And we will aim to provide you constructive feedback and also signpost to any other opportunities which we think may be well suited to you and something that you'll be able to apply for as well. And so some expectations during the bootcamp. So to graduate, the bootcamp learners must have 80% attendance on our bootcamp. We are a camera on charity, and our programs are cameras on. And we find it's really important to help build a community, as it's an expectation of what would be happening within the actual workplace. So if you do not have a camera on your laptop, or it's not something that you own, again, this is something that we can lend to you. You'll also need to show willingness to participate in our style of learning, as a lot of it is interactive, like I've mentioned. So you may go into breakout rooms from time to time and interact with other learners on the programme. You also need to embrace challenges on the programme and keep going when things get tough. We know 12 weeks is a long time, 3 months is a lot to commit to Monday till Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. But we obviously want to work with you to make sure you're able to embrace those challenges and work with you to make sure that you're getting everything out of the programme that you would like to. In terms of childcare plans as well, this is something that we ask you to have a think about and put some plans in place ahead of applying to one of our boot camps. This will be something that will be discussed during your mentor conversation, so please be ready to talk about childcare plans if that is something that you have responsibility for. And also we expect you to keep in touch with us, so communicate with us, keep in touch with us during the programme, after the programme, and let us know how you're doing and how we can best support you. And so once you have completed the bootcamp, you then move into our placement phase with us. And this normally lasts around 6 months, and it is focused on helping you secure a relevant job within data engineering. This phase is largely learner driven, but Generation is here to support every step of the way. And we find our Generation graduates normally have 2 different routes into work. The first of which is self-apply, so you'll find a role yourself and apply directly using all of the skills and knowledge that we have taught you during those 12 weeks, or opportunity sourced by us, so a Generation source opportunity. And these will be roles that we find and match you to from our employer partners. But either routes to employment, we will support you with how to do the application, what to apply for, and how best to submit your CV, cover letter, personal bio, etc. We'll help you with interview prep, so what research should you be doing ahead of the interview. We'll help with mock interviews and really getting you set up for success there, and also navigating offers as well. So how to ask for certain perks or benefits, or exactly how to kind of navigate this. And so our commitment to you during the placement phase is we will source and share opportunities and help match you with relevant roles. We'll show you where and how to job search effectively. Like I say, we'll support you with CV writing, interview prep, building your confidence, and really keep helping you build those skills and ready to succeed in your new job. And of course, we will celebrate your success as well once you land a role. And so your commitment during this placement phase. I think I've skipped a slide there, apologies. So yeah, as you can see here, during those 6 months, you'll have one-to-one and group coaching with employability coaches and our placement managers. And this is something that you'll be really involved in during those 6 months, so you'll still continue to have those one-to-one sessions. And we will support you, like I say, with applying for those roles and securing one as well. And so your commitment during this phase is you'll need to be proactive in your job search, applying to both our generation source roles, but also roles that you have found yourself. You'll need to apply for at least 5 jobs a week and keep your application tracker updated. Attend check-ins as well that we arrange with you, respond to messages, as we are here to support you and to connect you up with those opportunities. You'll need to be open as well to suitable roles within a commuting distance, and also make sure any childcare or visa plans are in place. And also keep us up to date. Tell us when you found a role, or if you've not quite found one yet. This really helps us track and also secure future funding for our programs. So next steps during the application process. So this is a bit of an overview of some key dates of the application process for our upcoming data engineering programme. So as you can see here, this first stage is our information session, which we are running today. So we have already kicked off group tasks and interviews. So they'll be running from the 7th of April up until the 11th of May. We have mentor calls available from the 25th of April to the 11th of May. So once you have completed your interview, so your higher view interview, we will then review it and then invite you directly to a mentor call. So we will give you a ring or pop you a message to invite you for one of these slots. We then move into our cohort selection. So once we have closed applications, we will get together. So the admissions team will get together with our learning team, who will be delivering the course content on programme, and also our placement team who will be supporting you into roles afterwards. And that is when we will have our cohort selection and decide on who we'll be offering for the programme. Offers will be sent between the 23rd and the 30th of May. And once you have received your offer and completed all the onboarding stages, you then move into an induction week. So induction week will begin on the 2nd of June, before the bootcamp officially kicks off on the 9th of June. So here is a bit of an overview of the application process, and a lot of this may look already familiar to you because you've already completed a lot of these stages. If not, I will take you through exactly what all of these stages involve. So you'll start off by beginning your application with us, completing your assessments as well. So there's 2 assessments to complete as part of your application process, the first of which is your Python task, and then you'll also complete an aptitude task. Once you have completed this and we have reviewed your application, we will invite you to a group task. So group task is a really great part of the application process where you'll be on a video call with a few other applicants who have applied for the programme. You'll have a task where everyone has a bit of input, discusses a certain task, and then we'll come back and share some ideas at the end. And it's really great for you to get a bit of an insight as to what our style of learning is like on the programme, as a lot of the time it is interactive. You may do kind of group tasks, role plays from time to time with others on the call. So it's really nice for you to get an insight as to what that could feel like and look like, but also for us to see your soft skills as well. So to see your communication skills, your teamwork skills, your problem solving skills, etc. Once you have completed the group task, you'll then be required to complete your higher view interview. So I'll go into the higher view in a little bit more detail in the next few slides. But once you've completed your higher view, that is when we will review it and invite you to a mentor support conversation. So the mentor support conversation is the last stage of your application process. And like I say, it's about 30 minutes long, a video call with one of our mentors, and a really good chance for you to connect with them and for them to ask you a few questions about how we can support you on the programme if you are successful. We'll then begin to send out offer forms 2 weeks before the bootcamp begins, and then the bootcamp will begin on the 9th of June. So I'd really recommend at all stages of the process, make sure you're logging back into your portal, that you've completed all the stages that you need to. And it's once you reach that under review stage, which means the ball's back in our court, it's for us to check everything through and then progress you through those stages. But if you have any questions during this time, or you want to reach out and find out kind of where your application is up to, reach out to myself or Amelia, as I mentioned at the beginning. We're here to help and we're here to answer any questions that you do have. So as part of your application, you'll need to upload a few different documents. So there's 2 documents that we will require from you. So the first of which is your right to work document, and the second of which is some proof of your current address. So for your right to work document, we can accept a few different things here. So we can accept your British passport if you have one, your birth certificate along with national insurance number, or any other passport along with your share code, settled status, or e-visa proof. We then need a document in regards to your proof of current address. So here we can accept, again, a few different things: your latest universal credit statement, driving license, government or official letter, bank statement, utility bill, tenancy agreement, but it's really important that it has both your name and also your current address on there. This stage on your application will likely stay highlighted in yellow, or it may say in progress for a little while. Don't panic if that is the case. It just means that we are making our way through all of the applications, checking them, and once they have been checked, we will update it to kind of green or passed, or if we need some more information from you, we will reach out to you directly to request this. So the HireVue interview is a really key part of your application process. So HireVue is an online video interview platform, and it's a really good chance for us to hear more about you and kind of your motivations for getting into data engineer, and why would you benefit from a place on our program. So real benefits of HireVue include you get the opportunity to read through the question before you record your answer, and you get up to 6 re-records for your answer as well. So you get that opportunity to really perfect your answer, practice those recordings before submitting your final answer. It's flexible as well, so if you know that you work best in the evenings and you want to dedicate some time to complete it then, you can do, or if you know you want to be fresh first thing in the morning, get it completed, you're welcome to record it then as well. I would just say, just make sure that you're completing this as soon as possible, as it's only once this has been completed can we invite you to one of our mentor calls. But if you've got any questions, or if you're having any issues with the HireVue interview, or if you would prefer a live interview, please reach out to myself, and I'm happy to accommodate or answer any questions that you might need. So maybe thinking, what are we looking for in the HireVue interview? And in no way are we looking for perfection. We're looking for potential. We want to understand your motivation, your enthusiasm for the program. We want to understand your understanding of an end role in data engineering. Have you thought about what that could look like for you and potentially where that could go for you? We want to understand also, why would you benefit from a place on the program? Here at Generation, we aim to support high potential people who are really struggling to break into the industry. So we want to understand what in your story shows that, you know, your motivation to overcome barriers and your growth mindset. And are you in a place in your own journey to commit to and complete a 12-week bootcamp and move into a career in data engineering? So again, like I say, we're not looking for perfection. We just want to hear about you, really paint a picture of your story and understand, why is this the right step for you, and why is a career in data engineering something you're passionate about. And that brings us to the end of today's session. So thank you so much, everyone, for sticking with me through that. I appreciate it was a lengthy session, but hopefully you've got a better idea of Generation, what the program involves, what a career in data engineering could look like for you, and also the application process and those key dates as well. As I mentioned, this recording is recorded, so if at any point you would like to go back and re-look over the slide on curriculum, or you want to understand more about those key dates of the application process, please do. You're more than welcome to, and I'll send out this link to anyone who was unable to attend today's session as well. Before we close, if anyone does have any questions, please do feel free to pop them in the chat, or there is an email address on the slide, which is dataengineeringprogram@generation.org. You can reach out to that email address with any questions. Otherwise, you can also reach me directly on my email. But I can't see any questions in the chat, so hopefully that means that we've covered everything we need to today. But if there is anything that you have, please reach out. But otherwise, I really look forward to connecting with you all more during the application process. And like I say, reach out if there's anything you need from us. Brilliant. Thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.